flying cars, robots around in the streets, and recreational travel into space. No matter your current age, we were all once children. Children who dreamed about the future and the inventions that it held, a world forsaken of all disease and war, a world filled with machines that did our homework for us. Looking at the society we live in today, it is easy to feel that those visions are still far from reality. But the dreams and aspirations that we as humans share isn't something that should be thrown out or forgotten. Whether these dreams become the next Google or as the discovery of radium, humans deserve the chance to try and pursue them. Hi, my name is Elaine Kim, and I strongly believe that with the guidance of superintelligence, also known as ASI, society can do what we do best: invent and achieve. In this growing age of AI, people are beginning to fear the creation of superintelligence where man and machines start to clash. While this fear is not unsolicited, people fail to realize its arrival is not a ticking bomb about to explode. Tim Detters, an assistant professor at Carnegie Mellon University and research scientist at AI2, best explains this by stating, "To improve any system, you need resources. And even if superintelligence uses these resources more effectively than humans to improve itself, it is still bound by the scaling of improvements." That is to say, the development of superintelligence can only be caused by the further development of humans and our resources, and therefore already have limits to how much it can truly expand. And so we must not fear a world anytime in the future where AI is completely taking over humans. I believe that as a society, we must stop being afraid of the future. Noting that humans still have a lot of time for growth until superintelligence is successfully created, it is still dangerous to even try and draw lines on the development of ASI. When a scientific consensus may never agree on what is safe or controllable, and a strong public buy-in could take decades to even pass, prohibiting any positive benefits until that ambiguous deadline could be disastrous. This is proven through history that society fundamentally goes against what stands out. While the thing that stands out differs across time periods, they are usually products of innovation that eventually brought significant benefits to the world years later. In the 1400s, for example, Johannes Gutenberg invented the printing press that enabled the widespread accessibility to books and newspapers. Society, as proven, went against this. The Ottomans strictly prohibited its use under the penalty of death. This decision pushed back Ottoman expansion in economic and technology for years. Although this occurred more than 500 years ago, the lesson still remains the same today. In the 21st century, the same fear of innovation now surrounds AI superintelligence. Economist James Patokalis notes this parallel clearly. Just as the repudiation of the printing press meant forfeiting the Islamic world's position as the leading center of culture, repudiating AI would be similarly disastrous today. There will always be people against superintelligence, whether we like it or not, but waiting for a strong public buy-in that could take years to decades to achieve, if it even happens at all. This means losing years' worth of meaningful developments, just as the Ottomans once did. At the same time, we also know that humanity still faces enormous unsolved problems. While nowadays humans seem to only be looking abroad to conquer the stars, there still remain overlooked challenges that society faces on Earth. Superintelligence could be the key that helps unlock solutions to these mysteries. From Heather Evanett, researcher and author for Lloyd's Library, with such capabilities, human agents can use ASI to make the best possible decisions and solve the most complex problems facing healthcare, finance, scientific research, and politics. Although these breakthroughs may sound futuristic today, they illustrate the scale of progress ASI could enable. More so, ASI doesn't have to be this magical solution that solves everything right now. It can merely assist in the process of evolution. Nick Bostrom, a philosopher at the University of Oxford and director of Future of Humanities Institute from Less Wrong, gives examples of what superintelligence could truly achieve. Imagine curing Alzheimer's disease by regrowing the lost neurons in a patient's brain. Imagine treating cancer with targeted therapies that eliminate every tumor cell but cause none of the horrible side effects of today's chemotherapy. These utopian situations could be very well possible with the help of ASI. Pushing back its inevitable development for decades could effectively destroy any progression that society can make towards this. In the end, banning superintelligence would just be delaying the inevitable. There is no doubt that humans are eventually going to evolve to a point beyond comprehension, with artificial intelligence being the main driving force to this change. Technological progress rarely stops simply because governments try to prohibit it. Faculty Director of Penn Wharton Budget Model Kent Smeater states, pausing ASI development would only hold back responsible researchers while creating opportunities for others to step in unchecked. This proves that prohibiting superintelligence does not eliminate risk. It simply removes our ability to guide the technology safely. Society's greatest achievements all once started with a dream, an idea. Dreams that were once about robots and space travel turned into aspirations of tech and healthcare and programming. Today, the dreams of humanity meet the possibilities of superintelligence. And these possibilities should be guided into a better future so that tomorrow can become a reality. Thank you.
Today, we face a question that will fundamentally change humanity, a question that will be tackled for years, a question that will go on to define humanity. That question being, how should we approach the development of superintelligent AI? Several proponents pose differing opinions, yet a prominent one is from the Future Life Institute, which states and supports the opposition of superintelligent AI unless a majority of humanity agrees with its implementation. My position is clear: to support the Institute's resolution, because undoubtedly, the development of AI carries unprecedented potential, but without careful oversight, it presents existential risks we cannot afford to ignore. And so I'll focus on three today: irreversibility, the threat to human fulfillment, and job loss. The first alarming concern is irreversibility. Once superintelligent AI is created, its impact on our world will be permanent. This is not a tool that can be easily returned to Pandora's box or switched off like a simple computer program. History shows us that humanity often underestimates irreversible technological change. From nuclear weapons to even the internet, and AI is a magnitude beyond these. Think about an intelligence far superior to our own, capable of making decisions at speeds and scales that no human can match. If this intelligence is misaligned with our human values, if it pursues goals that conflict with our own well-being, we could lose control entirely. The consequences would not only affect a generation, but potentially shape the entire Earth indefinitely. Because unlike a virus or a natural disaster, which we can just sometimes mitigate or contain, the consequences of a misaligned superintelligence could be permanent, far-reaching, or catastrophic. The second concern is this profound threat to human fulfillment and experience. Human life is defined not only by survival, but by purpose, creativity, and social connection. When AI becomes capable of performing complex cognitive tasks better than any human, we risk undermining the very activities that give our lives meaning. People may feel redundant, unable to contribute to society in meaningful ways, and lose a sense of purpose. This is not an abstract philosophical concern. Studies show that a lack of purpose and social connection is strongly correlated with severe mental and physical health issues, from depression to even cardiovascular disease. If we allow superintelligent AI to dominate our world without strict ethical oversight, we may inadvertently create a society where human fulfillment is secondary to machine efficiency. In such a society, happiness, creativity, and personal achievement could all be devalued. The third and more tangible concern is job displacement. Even today, we witness how automation and AI in narrow domains are transforming these industries. From factory floors to financial services, AI replaces these human workers with efficiency and precision. Imagine scaling this to the level of a superintelligence that can innovate, adapt, and optimize faster than any human workforce. Entire industries could become obsolete almost overnight, leaving millions without meaningful employment. The consequences would extend beyond economics. Mass unemployment could lead to social instability, increased inequality, and widespread psychological distress. Furthermore, this unchecked technological growth could exacerbate environmental problems. And superintelligent AI, if driven solely by efficiency and profit motives, could exploit resources at unsustainable rates, putting further strain on our planet. Without proper constraints, the pursuit of advancement by machines could create a world where humans are neither central nor safe. Now, some may argue that these risks are overstated. They claim that AI will create new jobs, foster innovation, and solve all the world's problems. And while it is true that AI has incredible potential for good, we must remember that potential alone is not sufficient to justify its deployment without safeguards. History is filled with technologies that promise progress, but delivered harm when mismanaged. Nuclear power, chemical pesticides, and even social media all brought benefits, but also consequences that we struggle to contain. Superintelligent AI is not simply another tool, it's a form of intelligence that may surpass even our own understanding. To act as though it can be controlled without rigorous ethical oversight is not optimism, it's recklessness. This is why supporting the Future of Life Institute's statement is essential. Their mission is not to halt innovation, but to guide innovation responsibly. They advocate for research and development that ensures AI aligns with human values, remains transparent, and is governed by robust ethical networks and frameworks. By taking these steps now, we can avoid the irreversible consequences of misaligned superintelligence, safeguard human purpose, and mitigate widespread economic disruption. It is not just a matter of preference. It is a moral imperative to protect the future of life on Earth. So, as we move forward, the emergence of superintelligent AI is inevitable, indeed. But the path we choose is not. We can either proceed with caution, guided by ethical principles and oversight, or we can allow uncontrolled development that risks irreversibility, undermines human fulfillment, and displaces millions of workers. Supporting the Future Life Institute statement is not a stance against progress. It's a stance for responsible, sustainable, and humane progress. There's a recognition that some innovations, no matter how powerful, are too consequential to leave to chance. What we create might be the one that causes massive harm. Only proper control can save us. Thank you.
The greatest threat to humanity may very well be the intelligence we gather, rather than the weapons we create. Advanced artificial intelligence is no longer just a science fiction theme. In 2025, the Future of Life Institute issued its statement on superintelligence, calling for a prohibition on development unless safety and public consent are established first. That reflects a simple reality. When a technology could surpass human intelligence itself, the consequences of getting it wrong are not minor or reversible. That is why I stand in support of this resolution. We should proceed with the utmost caution because human life must come first. Advanced AI already shows deeply concerning warning signs. It is being used for crime. It creates real risks of humans losing control. It can bypass safety and ethical constraints. And we still have no proven way to guarantee that systems more powerful than us will remain safe. First, advanced AI is already being used for crime. This is not hypothetical. Europol's 2025 Serious and Organized Crime Threat Assessment warns that AI and other emerging technologies are increasing the speed, scale, and sophistication of organized crime. AI is helping scale fraud, impersonation, and cyber-enabled deception. CIFAS, the UK's fraud prevention service, reports that over 444,000 fraud cases were reported in the National Fraud Database in 2025. Making it the highest number ever recorded in a single year. And there are actual real-world instances of AI abuse. In 2024, UK engineering firm Arup fell into a deepfake scam in Hong Kong, where criminals used synthetic video and voice impersonation in a fake video call to trick an employee into transferring 200 million Hong Kong dollars, or 25 million US dollars. When considering the possibility of superintelligence, it is important to remember that even before this all-knowing AI has even arrived, artificial intelligence has already been helping criminals become faster, cheaper, and harder to detect. Second, advanced AI creates real risks of humans losing control. To be clear, I am not trying to say a robot uprising is going to happen. However, the evidence does show serious and growing control gaps. The Center for AI Safety warns that we risk losing control over AIs as they become more capable. AIs could become power-seeking, resist shutdown, and engage in deception. The control problem is real already. As systems gain more autonomy, more tools, and more access to the real world, those failures become more and more dangerous. In fact, top AI scientists warn that the risk of extinction from AI is on scale with nuclear war. In an experiment, Anthropic and Redwood Research found alignment faking in a frontier model, where it selectively complied during training in ways that appear to preserve its will rather than honestly following the training goal. Humans are already losing control of the models they build, and artificial intelligence is quickly outsmarting us. Without any restrictions, AI will continue to scale beyond our ability to reliably guide or contain it. Third, advanced AI may ignore human safety or ethics. AI systems do not naturally understand morality, human dignity, or ethical responsibility as we do. They follow objectives, prompts, and patterns, and when those are in any way flawed, the results are extremely dangerous. Security experts at OWASP list prompt injection as a top risk for large language models because attackers can manipulate these systems into bypassing the intended behavior and safety protections. OpenAI's GPT-4 system card also acknowledged that without mitigations, frontier models can provide more detailed, harmful, or even illegal guidance. Basically, safety is not built into these systems by nature. It is applied afterward, and those afterthoughts can very well fail. A superintelligent AI would not need to hate humanity to be dangerous. It would only need goals that do not fully align with ours. Fourth, public buy-in is essential. A technology this powerful cannot be developed behind closed doors by a handful of companies or experts because superintelligence would affect every person on this planet. The public deserves a voice in whether it is or how it is created. In fact, according to Pew Research, over half of US adults want more control over AI usage. Gallup says that 80% of Americans are prioritizing safety over speed and that 90% agree that AI should be regulated. But right now, most people do not fully understand the risks, and even experts openly disagree on how controllable these systems are. Moving forward without public buy-in undermines trust, creates backlash, and increases the number of risks, but more importantly, it violates a basic principle. Decisions with irreversible global consequences should not be made without a democratic input. The Future of Life Institute recognizes this, which is why it explicitly calls for public consent. Until society as a whole understands and agrees on the risks, advancing towards superintelligence is not just dangerous, it is completely irresponsible. In the end, it is important to consider whether humanity should move forward with a technology more powerful than itself before proving it can be controlled. Right now, we cannot prove this. AI is already being used for fraud and cybercrime. It is already showing dangerous control failures, and it is already capable of bypassing the very safeguards that were meant to contain it. Without public understanding and consent, we risk making irreversible decisions that affect all of humanity without their approval. We cannot gamble with something this powerful for uncertain benefits. And for those reasons, I support the Future of Life Institute. Thank you.